Welcome to Buzz Around the Globe. Is Hamas hiding in Gaza's main hospital? Israel's claim is now a focal point in a days-long stalemate. Gaza's Shifa Hospital is Gaza's largest and best-equipped hospital. Israel, without providing visual evidence, claims the facility also is used by Hamas for military purposes. It says Hamas has built a vast underground command complex center below the hospital, connected by tunnels, something Gaza health officials and Hamas deny. Since Israel declared war against Hamas in response to a deadly cross-border attack by Hamas on October 7th, its forces have moved in on Shifa. While Israel says it is willing to allow staff and patients to evacuate, Palestinians say Israeli forces have fired at evacuees and that it is too dangerous to move the most vulnerable patients. Meanwhile, doctors say the facility has run out of fuel and that patients are beginning to die. Here is a closer look at the Shifa standoff. Shifa is the leading hospital in a healthcare system that has largely collapsed after years of conflict, chronic underfunding, and an Israeli-Egyptian blockade aimed at weakening Hamas. Shifa has over 500 beds and services like MRI scans, dialysis, and an intensive care unit. It conducts roughly half of all the medical operations that take place in Gaza, according to the health ministry in the Hamas-run territory. After the war erupted, tens of thousands crammed into the hospital grounds to seek shelter. As the war has moved closer to the hospital, most of those huddling there have fled south, joining some two-thirds of the territory's 2.3 million residents who have left their homes. But hundreds of people, including medical workers, premature babies, and other vulnerable patients, remain, staffers say. On Saturday, the hospital announced that its last generator had run out of fuel. Health officials say at least 32 patients, including 3 babies, have died. They say 36 other babies are at risk of dying because life-saving equipment can't function. The health ministry released a photo Monday showing about a dozen premature babies wrapped in blankets on a bed to keep them warm. International law gives hospitals special protections during war. Hospitals can lose those protections if combatants use them to hide fighters or store weapons, according to the International Committee of the Red Cross. Still, there must be plenty of warning to allow evacuation of staff and patients. If harm to civilians from an attack is disproportionate to the military objective, it is illegal under international law. Israel has long accused Hamas of using civilians as human shields. The group often fires rockets toward Israel from crowded residential areas, and its fighters have battled Israeli troops inside densely populated neighborhoods. Throughout the war, Israel has released photos and video footage showing what it says are weapons and other military installations inside or next to mosques, schools, and hospitals. Late Monday, Israel's chief military spokesman, Rear ADM, Daniel Hagari, showed footage of what he said was a Hamas weapons cache found in the basement of Gaza's Rantizi Hospital for Children. Hagari said he entered the hospital with Israeli troops on Monday, a day after the facility's last patients were evacuated. The hospital ran out of fuel last week, and Israel had ordered people to leave as it conducts its ground offensive. Hagari entered a room decorated with a colorful children's drawing of a tree, with weapons lying across the floor. He said they included explosive vests, automatic rifles, bombs, and rocket-propelled grenades. He claimed Hamas uses hospitals as an instrument of war. He showed another area that he said appears to have been used to hold hostages. It included what appeared to be a hastily installed toilet and air vent, a baby bottle, and a motorcycle, scarred by a bullet hole and apparently used to carry hostages. One windowless room had curtains on the wall that he said could be used as a backdrop in a video. Hagari said forensic experts were examining the scenes. The army has claimed that Hamas is operating inside Shifa and underneath it in bunkers, some of which it says are accessible from the hospital itself. It also claims hundreds of Hamas fighters sought shelter at Shifa after the October 7th massacre, in which at least 1,200 people in Israel were killed. Israel says these claims are based on intelligence. However, it has released no visual evidence to support the claims. Hagari last month unveiled maps showing where Israel believes Hamas's underground command centers are located, including one next to hospital's reception area and another next to the dialysis department. Israel also released a video of what it said was a captured militant answering questions during an interrogation. The militant, speaking quietly but clearly under duress, says that most tunnels are hidden in hospitals. The army also released a voice recording of what it says are 2 anonymous Palestinians in Gaza discussing the presence of a tunnel under Shifa. The recording could not be verified. Ghazi Hamad, a senior Hamas official, rejected the Israeli claims about Shifa as false and misleading propaganda. Israel on Sunday said it had tried to deliver some 300 liters of fuel to the hospital in plastic containers several hundred meters from the facility. But as of Monday, the fuel had apparently not been taken. Israel accused Hamas of preventing medical workers from retrieving the containers. Hospital officials said the fuel should be delivered by the Palestinian Red Crescent and that the quantity of fuel was insufficient in any case. Israel offered safe passage for people to leave, but those who tried to go described a terrifying experience. US President Joe Biden on Monday said the hospital must be protected and called for less intrusive action by Israeli forces. The Israeli army has said it is aware of the complexities, but says Hamas should not expect immunity.
Concrete evidence are that Hamas uses hospitals as an instrument of war. Underneath the hospital, in the basement, we found a Hamas command and control center, suicide bomb vests, grenades, AK-47 assault rifles, explosives devices, RPGs and other weapons, computers, money, etc. And we also found signs that indicate that Hamas held hostages here. This is currently under our investigation, but we also have intelligence that verifies it. For the last week, we have been conducting an effort to safely evacuate the patient being treated there and in other hospitals as well. Israel helped the hospital manager evacuate the Gazan patient to a safer hospital. Yesterday, we were informed by the hospital that the last 18 patients in the Rantisi hospital had safely evacuated to a safer hospital. This is because our war is against Hamas, not against the people in Gaza, especially not the sick, wounded, or the women, or the children. Our war is against Hamas, who uses them as human shields.
Well, I have not been reluctant in expressing my concerns what's going on. And it's my hope and expectation that there will be less intrusive action relative to the hospital. We're in contact and we're with
Do tell us what you think about this video in comments section, and for more news updates, subscribe to India Today.